Good morning, ladies and gentle nerds. It's me, Winston A. Marshall. I'm running the show today. Myself and Coy, we're going to do it because Kristian's off doing big boy things. So we're going to sit here and we're going to hang with you. We're going to talk about all the important stuff going on in life right now because, the only important things are the fact that Peacemaker Season 2 is officially here. We got our first episode. We're going to do a non-spoiler review and discussion on that. We've got some news about Peacemaker and kind of some of the musings that James Gunn had as far as that goes. What else are we going to talk about? Apparently, as Fantastic Four is also getting ready to end its theatrical run, we will have no comic book movie to cross 700 mil this year. That's the first time since I think the number was 2017. We'll talk about it in the in the show. We got all of that. Tramell Tillman, known from Severance, was also in the most recent Mission Impossible. He's apparently going to be in Spider-Man. We talked some Daredevil, Born Again. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. And then it's myself and Coy. So things could potentially get off the rails. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. That's it. And we have a very feasible goal today. We'll talk about that too after we start the show. So for now, sit back, relax, get some popcorn, unless it's 11 a.m. for you too. Then I don't know, get a protein bar or something, and we'll see you after the intro. Oh, I cut the intro off. I'm so sorry. Welcome to Capes and Cowls, everybody. I've got my boy Coy up in the building. He was confused. He wasn't ready for that. He thought he had more time.
I was like, I got like 10 seconds.
Nope. They got
morning.
you in your nose. I know you like to do that when nobody's paying attention, bro. What's going on, Coy? How you been, man?
A lot, but navigating, balancing. I kept thinking August was going to be light, and here we are at the end of August, and it went by like that, and it's going to be September in a week, and I'm just going to white knuckle till the holidays.
That's pretty much how this works, man. It's the same thing. The vid, and now the play I'm in, the Shakespeare that I'm in opens tonight. So I'm out here running lines in between everything, between coffee and now my poor lady sick. Now she got it. So now like trying to take care of her and just doing too much, man, like all over the place. I just need things to slow down for a little bit. That would be lovely.
I'm taking a trip in September because I knew if I stayed, I would just say yes to everything. So I'm physically removing myself. Like I've learned I have no willpower. So I have to literally leave.
Yeah.
So I'm getting on a plane in September so I can't work the whole month.
That makes complete and total sense, man. That makes complete and absolute total sense, and I'm a little jealous. Like I'm applying for a couple different positions right now, on like production staffs, and part of the problem with that is like I need to go back to Dallas to check on my dad again. It's different when all your stuff is remote. It's another thing when it's like, no, you need to be on set. So then all of a sudden it's like, like, you know what I mean? Like, because you want to be honest in the job interview and be like, I'm gonna need to check on my dad periodically, but also then being like, well, then we don't have space for you, motherfucker, because we got shit.
Yeah. Like, and my poppy's turning 80, my grandpa, so I'm gonna go visit him. That's the trip I'm taking. But like the older I get, the more I'm like, I really just don't care about digital. I got IRL things, so like I'm shifting my priorities to like I got to see my people more.
1,000%. I mean, my dad is coming to see the show tomorrow, which is cool.
Oh, dope, dude.
He's a huge Shakespeare nerd. So the minute he heard, he said, I'll be there. So
oh, that's special, man.
So that'll be cool. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, same thing. I just it needs to become more regular that I'm hopping down there to go see him. So we will see. We will see what happens, man. I see some people in the comments talking about they sick of stuff too. They sick of homework. It's like a bills. I get it, y'all. Like, can we just take a European state of mind and just everybody have a siesta once a day? Just shut everything down and let's
this
just
whole like perma grind hustle mentality of like ever expansion and always growth. Like, nah, I might like thanks. Like I'm turning 37 in 3 weeks, and like I ground for like 36 years. 37's a different me. I'm settling in, man.
Yeah. No, I feel that, man. I feel that. Well, speaking of settling in, actually sounds like a great place to kind of start off here. Peacemaker season 2 is out, ladies and gentlemen. Coy, if I remember correctly, you've seen the first like 3 or 4, right? Okay. And so I myself, I've only seen the season premiere, which everybody else was treated to yesterday, which a lot to talk about. We're going to dive into it right now. So Coy, just initial thoughts on the season premiere of the show.
I'm a big fan of comics feeling very different. Like I love when a writer has a different tone, and I love when an artist has a different tone. And to me, to go from Superman right into Peacemaker feels like that. Like the Superman movie making the choice to feel like a graphic novel already in play. I really thought that was super comic-y and fun. Now, Peacemaker being a hard R follow-up to a very PG-13 Superman, I really like the tone shift. I think it really shows a versatility in the DCU. I think next year having Supergirl and Clayface and Lanterns is gonna, kind of accelerate in a really natural way, because those are 3 very different tones as well. So I think Peacemaker does a really good job just like bringing us deeper into the DCU. I loved the Last Time On being so important and impactful. I don't think I've ever seen a Last Time On that did more heavy lifting in my life. So I think it's really playful. It's fun. It's showing the power of Christopher Smith. I think John Cena, like whatever he's done the last 3 years to grow as an actor, I remember being impressed in season 1, but he's even better this season. So I'm digging it, man.
No, I'm liking it a lot too. And one of the things that I think stood out to me, because I'll tell you, I was not 100% on board watching the episode last night. Part of the reasoning for that, I know for a fact, all of that exhaustion I'm talking about by having too much on my plate. I got home from final dress rehearsal. It was like almost 1 a.m. I barely had any energy to do it. Like, that's why my review isn't done yet, because I was just like, okay, I finished. I'm going to sleep. I can't do this right now. And like, to that point, there were definitely some things that I was like, oh, I wonder if they're going to change the intro. And they did. And I just love Do You Want to Taste It so much that I start off being like, I don't know. Now I rewatched it again today and I was like, okay, I'm actually on board. I do like the dance. I like the incorporation. It's kind of fun, similar to an anime that like your opening kind of song. That's what it feels like. It feels like an anime opening. Like random stuff is happening and you get to see the players that are going to be involved in this arc. You know what I'm saying? Is like, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, his dad's outfit is in blue. And so that'll be interesting to see with it. Again, this is a non-spoiler discussion, guys, so you don't have to worry about any spoilers popping off. But you were very right when you're talking about hard R. There is a moment that I thought was a hallucination that I was like, oh, that's actually happening.
Sometimes you got to blow off some steam, man.
There was a lot of blowing off of steam. That's for sure.
And like, I love that that's our first thing after the wholesomeness of Superman, because that's reality, right? Like in our world, there is those levels. And I think comics reflect that. Now a comic universe can.
Yeah, no, 1,000%, man. I'm dying. Somebody in the comments goes, keyword hard R. And I was like, yo, you nasty. But I think what was really well done, and sometimes it can be kind of tricky because when you're starting a new season, and especially a new season of a show that was such a hit, so we're expecting things to be exactly the same kind of feeling and the same energy out the gate, but you do have to do a reset up. There is this idea that, like, for me, I was like, okay, this is kind of a slow start. Like, yes, there's definitely action that happens. Like, there's a number of fights that happen. Obviously, the hard R part we're talking about happens. There's a lot of things that go down, but part of it, and again, I think that's just my brain was fried. I was just like, this seems a little bit slow. But in retrospect, a lot happened in that first episode, and I feel like we're just going to get more pedal to the metal as this goes. I mean, even how the episode ends, immediately feels like, oh, this just got real. This just got really real, really fast. But what element are you most looking forward to? Which character story? Because they kind of set everybody up for what they're going to be doing. Who are you most intrigued by going into the second season?
To be honest, I really love that we get some semblance of like the foreboding Frank Grillo to come.
Mm.
Like, you know, we haven't seen a lot, but I really love that we are tying in the Suicide Squad in order to set things up. And I feel like that's a really fun way to universe grow. Frank Grillo's been in every DCU property. Like he was in Creature Commandos, Superman, and we know he's going to be in this. To an extent, I'm really curious what it's like to have a character that intrinsic. And we haven't really had that with phase ones before. Like phase one of the MCU was very much a villain a week kind of feeling per movie. Like Loki grew out of Thor into Avengers, but there wasn't something consistent across mediums. So like animation, live action, TV, film, like that intrigues me and how that plays. So I think that's my most anticipated element to the show.
No, I respect that. I think for me, it's probably, I think I'm most intrigued by what's ultimately going to happen with Harcourt. I think that she is really going through some stuff. And I thought that her reaction to her situation was the most interesting out of everybody, including, a her kind of hard R moment that ends up happening in the episode. I thought was absolutely fascinating, and it keeps ramping up. I mean, first, she speaks to somebody, and then goes a little nuclear by herself. And then when she goes to try and relax, goes nuclear again. And so I'm actually very curious to see where they're going to go with this, how that's going to continue to evolve, and ultimately what that kind of plays out to be, man. But last question. I mean, what are you thinking about the new intro?
So I want to speak to your Harcourt thing first. I think she'd be number 2 for me. Like, and Peacemaker probably number 3 because it's his show. But like,
Yeah.
I agree. Harcourt, the physicality of the character is so awesome, and like, she's such a good actress that I'm really excited to see her getting to like have that depth at the start and where that's going to go. Like, I think that that's such a great secondary character, and I'm really curious how that plays out. And she's so yoked this season. There's something about like John Cena's size that immediately makes you consider him a certain way. And now it feels like Jennifer Holland has like found a build that makes you assume things of her. Like, she's got this physicality that I'm really curious of those two things in parallel. Like, I know it's something a lot of people don't think about, but the physicality of someone informs a lot of how you assume they are. Like, that's one of the reasons Alan Ritchson as Batman isn't as high for me as it is for other people. It's right. A physical element. And now Jennifer Holland is yoked. And I'm really curious, like, what that informs in her rage and her choices and her emotionality. And so to be, these two large human beings having all this emotional turmoil, that intrigues me this season. And then the opening, man, I liked what you had to say about anime. Like, this is a really different opening while still being obviously thematically similar. Obviously, it's still a really, banger of a butt rock song. And it's got like just a melancholic joy. Like, there's a different energy to it overall. I'm a big Foxy Shazam guy. It's a recent thing. Like, I'm not going to claim to know them before they were cool or whatever. Like, I'm not that kind of hipster, but I like Foxy Shazam and have for a few years. I've more recently gotten more invested because of, these properties. And the lead singer popped up in a Macklemore song like 4 or 5 years ago, and that turned me on to them. He was in the one with the moped song. That guy that has the crazy high voice is the lead singer of Foxy Shazam.
This is the moment.
Yeah, the guy that like is like the third act energy in that song is the Foxy Shazam lead singer.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
I've seen them live before, and they're so good live. Like, this is one of those bands that's insane live. So to hear that kind of energy in the theme song gets me excited to have that week to week. So yeah, I'm jamming.
No, I mean, let's actually go into our next topic, which is talking specifically about the new opening credits set to "Oh Lord" by Foxy Shazam, as you mentioned. Josh Wilding reporting from Comic Book Movie. Peacemaker season 2 premiered on HBO Max last night, and filmmaker James Gunn has just released the show's new opening credits set to "Oh Lord" by Foxy Shazam. It's every bit as unique and fun, excuse me, as what we got when the show first launched in 2022. As we write this, Peacemaker season 2 has a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. though critics were only given 5 of the 8 episodes. Fans have now started sharing their thoughts on the premiere, awarding it an 82 on the popcorn meter. New episodes of Peacemaker will be released weekly, so it'll be a while until we get the full scores for the series. Now, the premiere titled "The Ties That Grind" fully wiped away the DCEU by swapping out the Justice League for the Justice Gang. It also revealed how the new DCU multiverse works. I knew the dance had to change because we killed everybody in season 1, Gunn told The Wrap. I guess spoiler alert for season 1, it has been since 2022. But I wasn't sure whether I was going to change the song or keep the song the same and do a different dance. And after just listening to a lot of things and just walking through my imagination, I eventually hit upon Oh Lord, which I thought was great. They have a great music video, which has dancing in it, and I thought that was a good inspiration for season 2. Foxy Shazam are literally my favorite band. I think that the lyrics are very much about what happens in season 2. I think that in the same way, Do You Want to Taste It really captured the flavor, both the light and the dark sides of season 1. The same is true of Oh Lord. All right, we're not going to watch it right now. If you, obviously go watch the season premiere, or you can come and look at James Gunn's tweet later, just because, copyright. But just hearing all that, I mean, we kind of touched on a lot of this already. And I agree. I think very similar, again, going back to anime intros, because if you go to classic TV shows or Saturday morning cartoons or like Power Rangers, they would show some clips of the season sometimes, but for the most part, it's the same intro. It's Zach smiling at the camera doing hip hop keto and then showing him as the Black Ranger, showing Kimberly doing gymnastics and then she's the Pink Power Ranger. It's the same intro the whole time, right?
Yeah.
You do The Office. The Office might change a couple of clips, typically from episodes we've already seen. Nothing surprising to let you know, but the theme song doesn't change. It's the same thing all the way through. Anime has that very specific thing where you're typically not seeing scenes from the show, but you are getting kind of OVA cutaways of, Naruto fighting the new bad guy and like him using his powers, and then Sasuke's hanging in the background, but we don't know what he gonna do. And like that, it kind of feels the same both in the previous season and now that we get to see the repeat in this one. You got a new song, again, to set the tone of the arc, or in this case, season. You get to see every character that's going to be involved. So it almost is a light spoiler for the season, but nothing to write home about. You don't know what they're doing. And I just think it gives a very unique, again, Saturday morning cartoon tone, but our hard R version of said Saturday morning cartoon, which I think is pretty cool. So anything else you would add to this at all, Coy?
It's great to see Frank Grillo dance. I'd add I'd add seeing dude like slide at the end and just have that moment. I got a lot of love for the Grillos, like the whole family of them, man. I know Remy and Rio a little bit, and Frank's always such a tough guy, and he's like such he's just such a fighter, and he literally has like a Netflix documentary about fighting. Like he's such that guy. So to see him in something that makes him dance in an intro like this, just like him playing ball makes me happy. Like he might be an 80% fighter, but that 20% theater kid makes me happy.
That to me is the funny part, because I've said this before. I'm obviously a theater kid by the nature of like I grew up in the theater, but like when people say theater kid, I have a very specific like image, and I would hate that shit.
Like, I can't hang, dude. I struggle.
I love my theater kids. And I feel like on like a one-to-one basis, I love it. But the minute they all start singing 5,000, 25,000, I'm like, nope, I'm out. All of a sudden, I'm turning UGK up full throttle, just like, let me see it. Like, just.
I definitely have a hard line in the sand. There's a reason I left certain jobs, but like,
I think the internet was trying to save you. You said you have a hard R against theater kids. That's what you were saying.
Hard out.
Hard out. Okay. All right. Well, all that being said, man, we want to know what y'all think. What did you think about the season 2 premiere of Peacemaker? Let us know in the comments, in the chats, man. Throw in those super chats, which, by the way, Coy, let me bring you in real quick. So Kristian did impart before he took off for the day. He did say that our competition, you want to guess who we're up against?
Did Roxy and Steph do the show together? Did I see that
They
right?
did. It was like
Roxy
a
and
World Girl
Steph.
reunion. Okay. And how much do you think they hit?
Was I right?
You were right. It is
Okay.
Roxy and Steph. Where do you think they're at?
A World Girl reunion, I'd say 182. Blink-182.
That is a very like nice guess for them. We actually can take them on, man. They only got to 107.
Oh, we got
We
guys.
can do that.
108. Send them in.
That's so send in those super chats, man. Let us know what you're thinking about the season 2 premiere of Peacemaker. All the stories that we're going to touch on today. We're going to get into one more story before we go to our first break of the show. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one real quick. I just got to scroll up and make that the thing, and then we go over here. Alan Cumming, best known for playing Nightcrawler and X2, said, I don't know who I was acting with half the time in Doomsday. I heard that at first, and I was like, is my boy got Alzheimer's? What's happening? But we'll talk about it. So Josh Wilding reporting, like Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame before it, Avengers Doomsday is a highly secretive production with so many actors needed on set. The Russo brothers are likely facing some unique challenges, though that's nothing new to them. With Avengers Infinity War, for example, Benedict Cumberbatch's busy schedule meant he wasn't on with his co-stars a lot of the time. A double shot many of his scenes, with Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange later inserted into those. Several other actors in the same sequences never even met, and moviegoers were none the wiser. Something similar is happening with Doomsday, and X2 X-Men United star Alan Cumming revealed some of the unique challenges he faced on set while reprising his role as Nightcrawler. I did the entire production in isolation, lots of green screen, face replacement, he told Gold Derby. They even gave characters fake names. I don't know who I was acting with half the time. Cumming added, I did break the internet by mentioning something once, but honestly, I might have got it wrong. That's a reference to him previously saying he had been shooting a fight scene with Mr. Fantastic actor Pedro Pascal. However, as previously acknowledged that he got in trouble for revealing that, we bet on Reed Richards and Kurt Wagner still crossing paths. Cumming will be de-aged as Nightcrawler, while the face replacement he refers to is likely for actors who weren't available. Now, some social media users have been critical of this approach to filmmaking, but as noted, it's nothing the Russo brothers haven't done before. In another recent interview, Cumming called his Avengers Doomsday experience amazing and said it was healing and really nice to go back to something that it was a terrible experience when I did it the first time. A great film. I loved the film. It was actually really great to go back, he continued, and especially, I'm 60 years old. I did not think I'd be doing stunts, playing a superhero in my 60s. So that was great. And everyone was really nice. And I got it done really quickly because I couldn't go because of the traders when most of my scenes were being shot. As we know, Doomsday stars everyone from Hemsworth, Mackie, Duke, Hiddleston, Stan, Wright, Rudd, and Downey Jr., Russell, Liu, Huerta, Mejera, Pugh, Ramirez, Harbor, John Kamen, and Pullman are all joining the Avengers franchise, as well as the Fantastic Four with Pascal Kirby, Mas Baccarat, and Quinn. And X-Men franchise stars Grammer, Stewart, McKellen, Cumming, Romaine, Marsden, and Deadpool and Wolverine star Tatum. Set to drop in 2026, December 18, 2026, with Secret Wars coming December 17, 2027. So, Coy, you hear all that with Alan Cumming and the idea that he was, doing the kind of replacement thing, which is something that's pretty standard in movies. Obviously, I think with this, you are dealing with so many people. I am 99% positive. Even the Avengers Assemble on your left thing that we all clamor over in Endgame. There's a reason, not just to make it easier on your eyes to see every individual player. Part of the reason that was probably shot that way is like, all right, bro, we can only make Tom and Wong and Cumberbatch together in a scene. So, because of timing, and we can only get the Wakanda folks at the same time because of timing. So we'll shoot it in chunks. Okay, today's Wakanda Day. Everybody Wakanda picture like you were doing the club photos. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, chess club, come on in. Okay, band, come on in. Okay, football team, come on in. What do you think hearing about this? Does this worry you? Does it sound like business as usual? What's your thoughts?
I got 3 thoughts. First of which is I do think it's fairly common, and I think first thought is that we know too much about making movies because we obviously have that in other movies, but we weren't talking about it in Infinity War and Endgame nearly as much. So I think there are elements of looking for things to be bothered by. Second thing is, I think that this is probably mostly true, but I do think there's an element of, hey, we need you to have a new soundbite because you did spoil something. So now we need something that you and other people are going to say for the next year, because people are actively asking people about Endgame every opportunity they get. I mean, not Endgame, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like, Hemsworth just did Limitless press, and people weren't asking about Limitless because the sound bites are going to be better off Secret Wars. So I do think that they need to keep some things close to the vest for the next year. So I think it's smart to say, like, oh, I didn't act with anybody. So I think it is somewhat true, but also there's that element. And three, I don't think that anyone should be in a position of, like, you don't know what the story is going to be. It does sound like this was just, put together in pieces. Why would you want to say who you're acting with? Because that automatically gives people context. So I think it's a many tiered thing. It might be true. It might not be true. And that's the point.
No, I think so. I think keeping it close to the vest is smart. Look, I feel like they're going to do anything. If they really wanted to say who he was acting with, you could just be, oh man, it was so cool to see Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen again. I miss them, man. They my boys. Like, and leave it at that. If you're gonna, because then it's just like, okay, well, yeah, it would make sense you'd be with the other X-Men at some point if you were gonna try and keep a secret. Don't talk about who you cross paths with otherwise, unless it was somebody you were already kind of related to, if that kind of makes sense. But no, I think we as a society know more about making movies as is. I mean, look, who wasn't watching this show, at least, or watching anything Christian as far as that goes, meaning they were movie buffs or they felt like they were close to it anyway, that didn't watch every DVD behind the scenes making of as is. A lot of this stuff is stuff that people that are a part of this audience would know about from that, let alone you and I, who have actually spent our careers making movies and TV and content and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff there. So I don't necessarily think anything he said is too out of pocket per se.
No, I do think there's an element of, like, I'm really enjoying the behind the scenes stuff on Superman now that Superman's out. Right. But like when we watched audio commentaries, it was on a completed movie.
Right. That makes sense.
So I do think there's a different element of, I think we expose too much in pre-production. And I think that what I'm loving about Spider-Man is how much they're putting out that's misinformation. Like, I love that they're like, yeah, this is happening. And like, a lot of it might not be true. I want more movies to lie to me.
I mean, that would be nice. The less I knew, the better. I would definitely say that much. And I'll be honest with you, I've said this before. I'm cool with interviews and stuff like this. Obviously, the actors have to be careful, the Hollands and the Cummings of the world, that they don't, oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Or Ruffalo too. I know he's another bad one. But I have actively said that I am not the biggest fan of all the scooper stuff, just kind of constantly feeding things. I don't mind necessarily people telling me that somebody is like in a movie, but it feels like at times it's a rush to see who can ruin a movie first.
Yeah. And it's a lack of, like, movies are storytelling, and not only is it something that is part of the journey of making it, but creativity changes. So knowing too much too early causes problems because those things might change. And also, if you know too much out of context, you write your own story. Like, if you hear two people are in a movie, you think of those interactions. And then if those interactions don't happen and they're in the movie, you're disappointed because you knew too much going in, and you like, it's natural to write your own version of what you want. So the more that gets revealed, and especially when it's done egregiously, then it is undermining the movie industry. So I don't love it.
Can you imagine that, like, in like the height of when the Harry Potter books were dropping, if they were like, you had yo, this is from Extracto Patronum, these nuts. They say that apparently Voldemort will return in the Goblet of Fire, bro.
Right.
He will be back. We were expected to see him make an appearance, and he's probably gonna murder Cedric Diggory. Spoiler alert, guys, the books have been out since like 2002. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where, like, you don't know. I even think of music. You sometimes get track or album leaks, which is obviously horrible and everybody go down. But nobody's out here being like, and now, we got an exclusive bar from who hot right now? My brain is shot.
I mean, Eminem's had song leaks and he's just canceled albums. Like
Yes.
if something, you know what I mean? If something comes out, he's like, nah, it's not coming out now.
Swift just announced a new album. If all of a sudden bars from some of her songs dropped, I would assume that people would genuinely be pissed, because again, part of the experience is being able to have the full process and explore it in real time. Same thing with books. Like, you would occasionally get a specific, like if an author held a book signing, they might read a snippet from the book.
But they're choosing that, and they're the ones that wrote the books.
So they know exactly, versus this idea of just giving away the secrets. It's one of those things that's just kind of crazy to me, because I remember the random surprises that you would get when movies, you would go to the midnight release of something, go, oh shit, oh my God, so-and-so it is, bruh. Like that was the thing you looked forward to. And it feels like it's a game to see who can ruin that first.
And I love going back and watching old movies and like movies from the 80s and 90s and seeing actors pop up I didn't know were in it. Now that doesn't happen in either direction, because we know everyone that's in it by the time it's out. We know every character that's in it. And it does feel malicious. Like, it does feel like it's like, who can scoop it first? And that's a bummer. That's not like celebrating art.
Absolutely. And like, I understand that art in and of itself, especially the different mediums, release in different ways, hit people in different ways. But there is something about art, because art is always supposed to be, what is the emotional draw to it? Letting your emotions fully be enveloped when it's time, or how the artist wants it to be presented,
revealed and exposed. And I think as it is, having different people cut your trailers is dangerous. And that's like an official thing. So like, there's so many issues, and hopefully it gets better, but I definitely think we're in peak spoil everything as much. And like, some people that have that audacity to tell, like, well, I don't mind spoilers, so I don't have a problem with it. I'm like, congrats to you. I don't care about your experience.
That's the whole thing. Saying that to me feels like someone being like, well, I like my steaks well done, I think they're great. I'm like, cool. I can't stand it. And I would appreciate if we didn't automatically burn every steak. How about if you want to let me have my medium rare, and then if you want to put some to the side for the well done people, great.
It's a peeing section in a pool. I don't want to be in your piss. I don't care if you like peeing in it.
But it's all good. I mean, look, we're not going to sit here and pretend like we didn't just report on stuff kind of going, and we do every week as this show does, to talk about the stuff that's out there. But again, it's because it is directly out there. I guess that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't
a quote from the actor, that's a different thing.
That's what I'm saying. Quote from the actor is a different thing. I also just think from the standpoint of, if it wasn't out there, we'd find something else to talk about. But it's the hot thing to talk about. So it is what it is, man. So we want to know what you think, man. Get in the comments. Let us know. What do you think about Alan Cumming's quote about not knowing who he was acting with? If you feel the same way that Coy and I do about scoops and stuff like that and spoilers, let us know what you got going on there. And in the meantime, while you're doing that, you might want to go ahead and re-up and get a little good caffeine in your life. Check out this message from Trade Coffee.
I don't know if I can rave about Trade any more than I do, but man, let me try, because I love it. Summer's over now. Oh, it's getting to be over. And so I'm just locked into this morning routine, and I love Trade Coffee. I really do look forward to wake up in the morning and go, Trade Coffee, here we go. They recommend beans that I love. They know me well enough now, and they ensure that they're roasted to order. They ship them fresh to my door. I've gotten so many great coffees. I would have definitely never found these at the grocery store. There's no way. And every cup is really perfect. I just love it. It's so damn satisfying. Trade Coffee is the #1 coffee destination in the U.S. for both hot and cold coffee drinkers. They've sourced the best beans from over 50 top roasters across the U.S. They even have easy-to-use curated gear so you can brew at home with better flavor and value than any cafe or bottled cold brew. I'm telling you, it's like my morning routine. I have Trade. I don't. If you know my show, you know how much I love Trade. It's just the best. The bags that they send are great. I have I'm able to I grind the beans. I love them, and I've never gone back. Right now, Trade is offering 50% off a 1-month trial, but you got to go to drinktrade.com/Christian. That's drinktrade.com/Christian. Get 50% off 1 month. Drinktrade.com/Christian. Go there. Tell them that we sent you. Love Trade Coffee. I love Trade Coffee.
Thank you so much to our sponsors of Trade Coffee. And we got one more for you. You know how Coy admitted how he is ancient nowadays? Well, this one might be able to help Coy out just a little bit. Check this one out.
Oh, man, I'm so happy Nutrafol is back. I love Nutrafol. I've been using Nutrafol, it's got to be 2.5 years now. It is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand and is trusted by over 1.5 million people. You can feel great about what you're putting in your body since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified, the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. So a lot of supplements, they rely solely on ingredient studies. Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure that their efficiency uses a variety of hair measurement tools like hair counts and pull tests to access growth, quality, shedding, and texture. I remember when we got them years ago. Brett and I were like, all right, let's see. I'm getting older. Let's see if they can help us out. And boy, did they. It's been working amazing. You guys have been commenting on my picture that I posted last week on Instagram. You see what's going on. You got to see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. Got to go to Nutrafol.com. You got to enter that promo code Kristian. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. Nutrafol.com. But you got to use that promo code Kristian. That is Nutrafol.com, promo code Kristian. You will not be disappointed. Tell them we sent you.
Hey, man, Nutrafol. Thank you so much for that. Coy, you've always had a luxurious head of hair. So, that you clearly stick down, bro. You're trying to flap to the rim, ain't nothing move.
I had to put wax in it this morning because I woke up and it was doing this. So I did that yeah, dude, I'm getting older, man. I'm definitely I was like, wait a second, that might be directly to me. That's an intriguing prospect of I'm still white, and inevitably it just leaves me.
You act like black people don't have that same thing. The funny thing is, it reminds me of that old Chappelle show when Stephen King was out here ask a black dude being like, I feel why do black guys shave their heads? I feel like they have nice heads of hair and they all just like to go bald. And to have Paul Mooney be like, now I'm gonna tell you what's terrifying is having Stephen King's shining ass asking me questions about why I like to shave. Like, that's terrifying. That's a scary story. But man, it's the same thing. This is the type of stuff that I appreciate. I appreciate Nutrafol as far as it's been helping me. I've never been able to grow a full beard, and I've been using some of that hair serum on some of my patches to try and help with that. And it's actually helped bring it in a little bit. So I don't know if that's specifically how they like to use this stuff, but I already had a derma roller, and so I was doing that and then putting a little bit of the Nutrafol serum on that spot, and it's been helping, man. So
yeah, this is genetic Green Arrow. This isn't a choice. So I'd love to get some beard, not just my single.
That's why I try and keep certain profiles. Like right here, you go, oh, that's kind of nice, and then you look over the side, you go, boy. You know what I'm saying? So
know your angles. Know your angles.
You know your angles. You just got to know your angles. You got to know your light. All that good stuff, man. All right. So what number
are we at?
We're doing okay. We got time. We're only at 13 right now. Again, we're trying to get to 108, 107 to tie, 108 to win. So send in your questions. Let us know what you guys are thinking one way or the other. But we got a little bit of time. We're gonna go to the next story. This one I think is very interesting, and we might have a lot to talk about here. I'm very curious on your thoughts, Coy. But I tease this up front that in 2025, this will be the first time, not 2017, 2011, that a superhero movie has not reached 700 million worldwide at the box office. Josh Wilding reported this from Comic Book Movie as well. It's becoming increasingly difficult to deny the existence of superhero fatigue, especially when looking at how 2025's Marvel and DC movies have performed at the worldwide box office. Superman is the year's clear winner with an expected 625 million haul by the time its run ends. Fantastic Four First Steps will come in second with a predicted 525 million total, and then it's all downhill from there. Captain America Brave New World tapped out at 415 earlier in the year, while Thunderbolts, the year's best reviewed superhero movie, only managed to reach 383 million when it was all said and done. Thanks to COVID-19, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, box office prospects were cut short in 2020, and the New Mutants came and went with little fanfare. Taking that aside, with none of 2025's releases set to reach 700 million, this is the first time since 2011, 14 years ago, in a non-pandemic year that a superhero movie has failed to reach that figure. It's a troubling statistic. Thunderbolts was always going to struggle with the cast of characters mostly known from being on streaming, while the Fantastic Four First Steps was tasked with fixing a franchise that has become best known for producing terrible movies based on the reviews and fan response it succeeded. However, the Captain America and Superman franchises underperforming like this is troubling. In the latter's defense, it's coming on the back of a series of awful DC movies, but Cap's fall from grace is legitimately shocking. Is this the beginning of the end for superheroes? That's unlikely. Studios simply need to figure out how to make them for much less money, something we've talked about a lot on this show. And 2026 will be a bigger test as Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday should be guaranteed to surpass $1 billion. If they don't, then it might be time to panic. Did you skip any of this year's superhero movies? That was a question for their website. However, I do want to ask you guys that as well. Is there, of the four, so we had Superman, Fantastic Four First Steps, Captain America, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts. Are there, not including if you saw them at home, did you skip any of them in the theaters, and which one? Let us know, especially send them via the super chats. We'd love to know what you think of that. But Coy, you hear this. We're getting no 700 mil. First time since 2011, what dropped in 2011? Let's see. 2011 superhero movie.
That was like early. That's year 3 of the MCU, man.
Right. That's pre first Avengers.
Yeah, that's pre Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. 2011, we had the Green Hornet, Thor, X-Men First Class, Green Lantern, Captain America, the First Avenger, Raw 1, All Superheroes Must Die, Immortals, and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Okay. Let me just.
But I would also be curious, and this stands by my thesis. What is 2025's box office overall compared to 2012, 13, 14? Like, I think we need to zoom out.
That's also true, but let me. Why don't we do this? I'll give you the top 10 here because let's see. Well, first of all, I'm trying to see which one hits 700 because I have the box office open for 2011, and the highest superhero movie that I see is Thor. Oh, they're saying that was the last time. So Thor was the highest one at 449. So 2012, you hit Avengers, you get $1 billion there. I see what they're saying. Okay.
And since then, it's been.
Yeah. So, but to that point, 2011, the top 10 movies. You had Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2 hit 1.34 bill. Transformers Dark of the Moon, 1.12 bill. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, 1.04 bill. Then a pretty decent drop off, but still high up. Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 at 712. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol at 694. Kung Fu Panda 2 at 665. Fast 5 at 626. Hangover 2 586. Smurfs 563 and Cars 2 559. Those are the top 10. Versus for this year, you have only 2 crossing over $1 billion. You got Niza at 1.899 bill, Lilo at 1.03 bill, Minecraft at 955, Jurassic World Rebirth at 829, How to Train Your Dragon 626, Superman 598, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning 597, F1 595, Fantastic Four 472, and Brave New World at 415. So that's a pretty sizable drop off for movies as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is a major thing to keep in mind. I'm not saying that I disagree with the idea of we need to have movies that do not cost nearly as much money. I think they're putting too much money into making these movies, and that is not helping. But I do think that ultimately we just have to remember that people just aren't hitting the movies up the way that they used to, especially, 2011 feels like the last bastion before movies were just gangbusters making money like crazy. It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Avengers, that shifted a lot of things in movies in general, but like there were so many franchises hitting between now and then, and now it's like we get the occasional Lilo and Stitch, the occasional Minecraft, obviously Oppenheimer and Barbie, like that was its own thing, but like I just looked at the different box offices like since 2020, and it's a really different thing. 2023, we are at 33.9 billion. 2022, 26 billion. 2021, a mere 21 billion. But if you look at 2019, it's 42 billion.
Right.
So like and then 2018 overall box office, 30 billion. Like it's just the scale is different, and inflation, and like there's just so many things to account. I'm not disagreeing that people are going to superhero movies less. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're also going to the movies less. So I do think it's an overall movie theater conversation as much as it is a comic book movie conversation. I do think that comic book movies are in a new era. I've said it before, like the golden age to silver age of comics changed comics. I think we're entering a different age of comic book movies, and it's a more specific audience. I think it's great. The movies are getting more specific again. Like, feel like they have something to say. I feel like they're a better quality. I think Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Superman were all much better than movies years past. Yeah. But they need to recalibrate expectation and budget accordingly if that's going to be a new era. So I think we're going to see. There's always going to be outliers. But to me, the big red herring, what the canary in the coal mine was Jurassic World. Like, that was the first Jurassic World to not make $1 billion. And it's a fifth lower. And I heard a number of people talk about how 800 million is the new 1 billion. That is a $200 million difference. That's most movies' entire
drop
budget.
What was I was going to say, what was the budget for Rebirth? Because that in and of itself would be something to be like, oh shit.
Also 2011 or let's say 2010 to 2020, China loved our movies and they don't now.
No.
And we need to look at international as a very different thing. Like it's not the same. And the legs on movies, because we're letting them go to streaming in 60 days or less. There's so many factors. I just think it's a perfect storm problem, but I feel like people are looking for one thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that is, let me see real quick. I want to see what Dominion, because Rebirth is reported at about 180 for the budget. I want to see what Dominion's budget was. So the estimated budget for that was damn near $500 million, somewhere around 465, which is nuts. That is absolutely nuts that they spent that much money making that shitty movie.
I like Jurassic World better than any other Jurassic World. I liked Rebirth more than any other Jurassic World.
I'm talking about Dominion. I'm not even going
to. Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
How quickly we change our tune there, Coy.
That's just crazy. But
you're right. It still crossed $1 billion. But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think you have to look at so many things. You have to look at the economy. You have to look at, like you said, American movies aren't hitting in China the way that they used to. China has taken a lot of that energy and put it into their own film industry and how that's going. You have the fact that these studios decided to go gung-ho on streamers. And streamers like try and say that they don't. They take a massive cut out of things. And then the last thing, I'm not putting this at the feet of Gen Z at all, but I think in the same way that like we have taken a step back and like Gen Z doesn't drink nearly as much. They don't go to bars. And partly that was the pandemic and the age at which the elder of Gen Z would have done that and been in college and maybe doing that after graduating, and they didn't. It just wasn't something that picked up, and then it just became a thing. They just drink significantly less. A lot of studies have come out that like if they're gonna drink, they're getting one really nice ass drink, and then but they're not gonna be like us where we were like, "Hey, get the pretty rag, we play beer pong all night, dog." Like that doesn't happen, and so it's the same thing we've seen for a lot of Gen Z. They are more interested in shorter content, or the specific types of movies that draw them in is different. There's just a lot of different things that have just evolved, and it's time for the studios to understand that. They got to understand that things have changed and find another way to either bring older folks back to the theaters, millennials and higher, bringing younger folks back in, or find a way to connect with Gen Z in a way that they can't miss these types of events,
Yeah, I think there's a lack of socialization that, happened to all of us, every generation during the pandemic. And I can't imagine being a 13-year-old and having from 13 to 16 not being out much. And then I also can't imagine being like a 19-year-old to 22-year-old not drinking. Like I started drinking young. But like I can't imagine that era, that not being part of a habit. And that would change the rest of my adult life. 2020 was 5 years ago now. If I didn't drink for 3 formative years. Why would I start it after necessarily?
Right.
And the same with movies. If I didn't start going to the movies when I had a car, if I didn't start going to the movies when I had, some income, I don't know that I would start it. So I think there is huge gaps in expectation.
No, absolutely. Like I said, I'm not putting this at the feet of Gen Z at all. Like this is the studios to figure out how to make more quad 4 movies or make enough movies for everybody that they all want to go and see their own thing in the theater. That is up to them. And they kind of did this to themselves. Again, I think with how they've pushed streamers as hard as they have. But bless you. But that's one of the things in general. Every generation, when they become the centerpiece of society, they just handle things differently, from entertainment to socialization to how they handle their money, things like that. And it's both how the world is affected around them and how they're affecting the world. So I think that's just the big deal. I think that we have not seen movies be in the same centerpiece the way they were for us and generations past. Because if you even think about it, last thing, we started becoming the generation where TV stars were a thing. Because remember how the movie stars used to look down on TV? Oh, you had to go to a TV show with your ghetto ass. But we were the age where all of a sudden doing both was hot. You know what I'm saying? Being Walter White and then going off and doing a blockbuster like Godzilla or whatever. Not that Godzilla did super great, but you know what I'm saying? Like that was normal to do some stuff like that.
I think a huge thing we're also not addressing is, in addition to things going to streaming, it's $5 a movie if you watch 4 movies and you've got a $20 a month streaming service. Money right now is
the economy, 1,000%.
We've never it's so hard because there have been 2008 financial crises, and that didn't affect the teenagers, then it affected their parents. The fallout of the dollar is affecting more generations in a different way, and it's also not being addressed the same way. Like the fact that we're not in a recession, and everyone is hurting so bad. Like I don't think we're accounting in any of these stats and equations the financial element. Like it's not just that movies cost $12 to $20 just depending on where you live. It's the fact that a burger costs $12 to $20 depending on where you live, and you got to eat. Like it's crazy to me,
bro. The fact that my fat ass literally might start losing weight. Like I actually just came from the doctor this morning. The doctor was like, "Yeah, man, you down 12 pounds." I said, what? Great. I love it. And I literally thought to myself, probably because the last time I went to go get fast food, I literally was like, all right, let me just get like a burger, fry, and a drink. And they're like, cool, $15. I said, 15? Bitch, this is a value menu. What?
Dude, Taco Bell is like an $18. I remember Taco Bell being like, I've got a 5 on me, and it means something.
Coy, $18 at Taco Bell meant you fed your family for 2 weeks.
Oh, 100%. Like if you spend $18 at Taco Bell, like you don't feel great. Like you've done something wrong. So like I don't think that is
at Taco Bell would have fed an entire frat house for a party.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. And now it's like dinner. But I don't think we're taking that into account. So in addition to streamers being like $15 for a whole month of infinite content, people not wanting to leave their house, you leave your house, it costs $50 now, just leaving the door. So like that's a thing, and I feel like that's we don't. It's hard because I love these pieces of art and I love supporting them, but I use AMC A-List almost exclusively because I can't afford to go to the Lemley as much as I want or to Alamo Draft House as much as I want. So if you don't have that, everything is $25. It's crazy, man.
That's the thing that's wild to me. Where we used to work at iPick, it was wild that movies cost $30 to get in. Now going to regular ass movie theaters, like you're damn near spending $30 just to get in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like IMAX is going to set you back $28. Regular ass movies are going to set you back at least 20. So like,
and people are trained to not leave the house.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When you have everything at home, when you've got that great sound system, when you have that big ass TV, and when the movies are out within a month and a half's time, why go? You know what I mean? And especially if you go and then you're going to deal with people. Because the other thing that kills me is the social norms of watching movies.
Gone.
Is gone. And that to me becomes a pretty big turnoff as well. So I'm not saying that superhero movies don't need to wake up.
I'm not either, but I am saying it's more than that. And like, if we can do these sing-alongs for K-pop Demon Hunters, which sounds like actual hell to me, then we should be able to do actual restrained theaters. Like maybe we have a smoking section and we have a talking section in like theater 5, be a dumbass. Theater 1, we're going to actually watch the movie. Like we play the movie in 2 houses. One is like, be an asshole. One is like, I'm watching the movie. And I think we need to start like fixing the theater socialization industry.
Yeah. And
have an usher standing at the bottom of every other theater. And those are the silent theaters.
That's fair. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. I do think it's probably something that's going to differentiate per IP and per where you live.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sure there are smaller theaters that you could go to your little indie one, or like, you know how Burbank has like 3 different AMCs. I like going to 16 to like the big one, but sometimes I like going to the smaller one off in the pocket
because they're emptier and like hidden.
So I can literally just go and just be quiet and just be like, oh, thank God, and just whatever, you know. But again, it does not mean they don't need to shrink budgets. It doesn't mean that they don't need to keep an eye on that and understand kind of what they've done. Like they need to continue to make superhero film. We might need to get less of them yearly and make them bigger events again. And that might
take your time making them quality. I love that the DCU films seem to be wrapping a year before they're out, because you actually can make visual effects look good. And like, there's just there's so many things to be said, but I think we just need to zoom out a little too.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. But what do y'all think? Let us know in the comments. Throw in them super chats. Tell us your experiences in the movie theaters. And do you think that the superhero genre is in trouble? First time since 2011 that we have seen no superhero movie cross 700 million, which is kind of a wild statement to say that it was that long of a stretch. But it really became the norm. Let us know what you think in the comments. Okay, we got time for a couple more stories real quick. Let's see. What do we want to get into? Let's do this one. I do like this one. Tramell Tillman will reportedly play a villain in the Spider-Man Brand New Day, but it won't be Tombstone. This is Mark Cassidy reporting. Last night we got word on a late addition to the cast of the Spider-Man Brand New Day with Severance and Mission Impossible Final Reckoning actor Tramell Tillman set to join the ensemble in an undisclosed role. And no details on Tillman's character were shared by the trades, but there's been a lot of speculation. The most popular theories pointing to Peter Parker's Daily Bugle colleague Robbie Robertson and the villainous Tombstone. Tombstone did seem like a pretty solid guess, since we heard that Alonzo Thompson, Lonnie Lincoln will show up in Brand New Day along with several other Spidey foes. However, we're now hearing that Tillman will not be playing the hulking albino gangster after all. According to Nexus Point News, Tillman has not been cast as Tombstone, though he will play a villain. Rumor has it that this 4th solo outing for Tom Holland's Wall Crawler opens with a montage of the hero doing battle with various bad guys, but it seems unlikely that Tillman would have such a minor role, unless the plan is for him to return down the line, of course. The news of Tillman's casting followed a rumor that Florence Pugh will also appear as Yelena Belova. What is brain just fried for a second? But this has yet to be confirmed. Brand New Day will also star Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, John Bernthal as Frank Castle the Punisher, Sadie Sink and Liza Colon-Zayas in undisclosed roles. Zendaya and Jacob Batalon will also reprise their roles as MJ and Ned. Last thing we already know, unlike previous films, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, Brand New Day is the name of a specific arc from the comics, which focuses on Peter Parker attempting to rebuild his life following the events of the status quo altering One More Day and Civil War. All right, Coy, so best guesses here. Who do you think that Tillman might be portraying? You are the Spidey expert out of all the Spidey experts I know.
Norman Osborn.
Ooh, I mean, we already saw Norman with them waves again, bro.
Coleman Domingo did a real good job. I would love if Coleman got to play him in live action personally, but if he's not going to, I think Tramell Tillman is so good at being charming in a scary way. He's so good at being intimidating, but also like captivating.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of Robbie, to be honest. I love Robbie Robertson. I'm so excited for Lamorne Morris to play him. Lamorne's playing him in that Nick Cage show, Spider-Man Noir.
Absolutely.
Also,
I know people got bent out of shape about him being black in the God, what was the name of that show?
Your Friendly Neighborhood.
Thank you.
Did
But
people?
you're not gonna sit here and tell me that these where is it? Oh, god damn it. That these waves right here, that's on a white man. That is a black man's waves. All right. That's what that is right there. His Norman been black. All right. Same thing. Look right here. You gonna tell me a white man got waves like that? Ain't none of y'all brushing your hair like that, bro. I promise you, bro.
And Willem Dafoe did an amazing job. And my only question would be, Tom Holland has met Norman, right? But maybe he thinks that the benevolence of Tramell Tillman is like, oh, in this universe, he's not a bad guy, right? Like you'd want to play him so different from what Willem Dafoe did, so you could buy him as Harry's dad, a friend, a fellow scientist. And then the betrayal hits deeper because he didn't really get to know Norman as a man that much. He was a guy at Feast. He was trying to I think he'd be great. I think that there's a chance he's Robbie. I think that's fun. I want Tombstone to be like a little younger, I think. Sure. But like I'm excited no matter what, because Tramell Tillman steals every scene he's in Mission Impossible as well as Severance.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. Beyond anything else, it is just how enigmatic, how powerful of an actor that he is. Like he really showed us in Severance. And so I'm open to him really playing any of those. I want someone cerebral though. So I
got one more for you.
Who?
Do you remember they cast Zayas from The Bear, and we're like, who's that going to be?
Yeah.
What if he's Jefferson Davis?
Ooh.
What if he's Miles' papa?
Miles' mama and daddy. I like that too. I
would not mind a Tramell Tillman.
You bring Donald back, and so you got the three parental figures.
You got Uncle Donald, you got Tramell Tillman as Jefferson, and you got Zayas as Mama Morales.
I like that. I like that a lot, though. I do see one person in the comment. Tillman seems like he should be somewhat of a scientist himself. That's a pretty good comment. That's a good one. That would be a good one, man.
But I buy him as a cop.
I could buy him as a cop 1,000%, and I can definitely see this being a world where like Miles, we're setting up Miles coming into the picture.
Eventually,
we already teased him a little bit in that Aaron straight up said, I got a nephew that runs around in this neighborhood.
Right.
So you already have kind of teased the fact that Miles exists somewhere. We just haven't been formally introduced.
And
so
I'm not saying Miles would be in this movie. I'm saying his parents would.
I could also see a scenario where maybe they were in the movie and then the post credit is being like, hey man, Spider-Man, thank you so much for doing that, man. This is our son. We hope that like he can grow up to be like you one day. Be like, hi. And then that's it.
Comes out 3 months before Doomsday and a year before Secret Wars. I think post Secret Wars, we might get Miles in a Sony movie, his parents in a Marvel Sony movie.
That'd be pretty cool. I would like it, but let us know what you think, man. Who do you think that Mr. Tillman might end up playing? Who would you like to see him play? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Throw in a super chat if you really want to get it out there and make sure the whole world knows what you're talking about, man. I think that would be really, really dope to see him as Norman Osborn, but we'll see what happens. We will see where this is going. So, all right. Before we get on to the super chats, I'm actually really excited about this next sponsor real quick, man. This is something that I've actually used a lot personally myself. Check out this message from Masterclass.
I am going to tell you guys right now, when I heard Masterclass was coming on to sponsor the show, I was like, oh, this is great. I've been using Masterclass forever. It's just the best. So I've been talking about business, the way the business works and the movie business, and they have the Masterclass by Bob Iger that I use. And man, just listening to that guy and the access that you get because of Masterclass, holy moly. I was able to use some of those tips and things that he was saying, and just like little exercises that he does in his life when he wakes up, the things that you try to do, even something simple as just not even being around your phone, hearing people that you're like, oh, look at what they've done, what they've accomplished. And clearly they have some kind of game plan. That's what you get from Masterclass, because there's nothing from gaining a fresh perspective from experts who've seen it all, and they got the wisdom to prove it. So that's what I got when I was listening to that Bob Iger one. It really has changed my whole perspective on all of this. A masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. It's got plans starting at like $10 a month. It's billed annually, and you get unlimited access to over 200 classes taught by the world's best business leaders, writers, chefs, and more. With Masterclass, you get thousands of bite-sized lessons across 13 categories that can fit into even the busiest of schedules. Super easy. So I know there's a lot of people who are big comedy fans too. There's one the one with Amy Poehler. So you can like apply improv to your daily life. You can develop your singular voice with Mindy Kaling, and you can learn to tell a story that persuades people with Michael Lewis. There's so many different people. So one with Natalie Portman over there. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. And the classes, they do really make a difference. 3 in 4 surveyed members feel inspired every time they watch Masterclass. Include me in there also. Every new membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. There's no risk. Right now, our listeners, you get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/bigthing. That's 15% off at masterclass.com/bigthing. Masterclass.com/bigthing.
I can't speak higher of Masterclass, man. I had it for a couple years there during the pandemic. I did a Masterclass from Issa Rae.
Cool.
Which was
I finished
really
Insecure, by the way.
Did you? What'd you think?
Dude,
It's so
like,
good.
it's so comforting and good, and just like, it's like what I think 2020's Friends would be like, but like it's written with today's humor, and it's so effortless, and it's so funny, and like everyone's so real. I loved it, man.
No, absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt. I just got excited.
No, you're fine. I'll finish my thought in a second. Someone's asking for the promo code. It was big.
I am going to tell you guys right now, when I heard Masterclass was coming on to sponsor the show,
I thought I could skip forward. I cannot, but yes, it's big thing. I tried to jump back in and then move the little slider, but it doesn't let me do that. So my apologies. But yes, big thing is the promo code there. Should be in the description. Most of the time, we always have the promo codes and all that in the description. So if you want to check that out, you can look down there. But I did the one from Issa, which was fantastic. Helped me write 2 short films that are just I'm in love with them and I'm ready to shoot them. It's just I just needed to get to the other side of some things first. And then I also did one from Aaron Sorkin. Same thing. His writing class in there is bar none one of the greatest writing things I've ever done. So I cannot speak higher of Masterclass. Definitely check that out. All right, y'all. We're going to start getting into these questions here. We got a good starting point. We still got plenty of time. We got until 1. We're sitting at 25 right now.
We're a fourth of the way there, guys.
Way there. We got a fourth of the way there with halfway through the thing. And let me tell you, as somebody who, a lot of people know that I am a season ticket holder for the Sparks, and I went to see the Sparks play the Wings. Paige, the number 1 draft pick for the W this year, man. Paige cooked, bro. She put up 44. And the Sparks still pulled it out. So if we can pull it out at the end, it's still possible. I believe in the squad.
Also, we just need like 80 something $1 ones.
That's also true. You could all just everybody put in $1. We're gonna chip in $1. We're gonna get some that will work perfectly. But let's start off with this first one right here. Tyler Pfeiffer. Anyway, going to see 311 in Nashville next week. Ever listen to them? Probably my all-time favorite band. I have not heard of 311. Are you familiar with 311?
Is that like actually?
I don't know.
They're like stoner rock. Like, yeah. They're like stoner. I was big on them in high school. They're very like pseudo psychedelic vibey music.
What's like their biggest song? Is there like a hit that like,
I guarantee the first 3 songs in their Spotify,
Okay.
Like it's in enough movies and enough like culture stuff. Like it's a very pop culture.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm not
311's a vibe, man. They're fun.
Okay. I've never heard them, but that's pretty dope. I would check that out for sure. Thank you for the recommendation. I've been doing this since I want to say 2011 or 2012. Every month I make a monthly playlist, and then I actually have I get a little too hyper focused, organized sometimes with the whole ADHD shit, where like I have a bunch of folders on my Apple Music where it's like 2011, and then it's January 2011, February 2011, and I can see all the songs I was listening to that month, and then I make a best of fuck the auto ones that they make for you. I have my own best of that I make of like, yep, that was the jam this year, that month, and that was the jam, and I put like my top. I do 2 per month, so my top 24 songs. I throw an extra one in for flavor, call it even 25 of like my 25 songs of the year. And so yeah, I'll listen. I'll add them to this month if they rock.
They're a vibe, dude. They're definitely like super chill. I also got tickets. I'm seeing Dochi in November, dude.
You son of a bitch. And you saw the Woo. I hate you so much,
dude. I got to talk about comics with RZA for like. I was so afraid of like bugging him because, you know, it's like he's the RZA, and I was so afraid of like being someone like, and then I thanked him for American Saga because that show means a lot to me. And we talked a little bit, and then I was like, all right, I did it. Like, I didn't ask for a photo. Like, I'm gonna just leave. Like, I feel good. Like, I didn't bug dude. And then a friend of mine was talking to him, and I cycled back, and they were talking about comics, and I was like, oh ho ho ho. And then like 45 minutes of geeking out with RZA to the point where he's like, yo, you know who you should talk to? You should talk to my boy Method. And I would like, he was like referencing Method Man like someone I should know. I'm like, the fuck Method Man. And at the end of the conversation, I was like, absolute pleasure to meet you, man. I'm like, do you mind if we get a photo real quick? And he's like, oh, not at all. And he puts up the W and he shoulders me. And I was like, can I? Am I allowed? He's like, because I said so, you can. And I got to throw it.
Hey, man, Wu takes for the children.
But I asked permission. I was like, is this acceptable, Wu?
Stupid, bro. Mad Dog, Winston, how do you judge film even if you're not represented? Coy, do you get overwhelmed with the amount of media put on you? Cheers, boys. I listen to Kristian every day at work. Glad he's not here. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I never understood. Like, let me put it to you this way. I think it's pretty obvious that America is a predominantly white country. I think that's something that we're aware of. Go figure. So to that point, I've spent a majority of my life being in a scenario where I am the minority in almost every room that I walk into. There are rare exceptions, obviously. So one of the keys to that is I very much can look at media that doesn't have me there and still appreciate it if it's done well. It doesn't matter. Now, the reason why people want to see representation and they want to see that is because it does help you connect even more when you're able to see yourself or stories that you may have more directly associated with. But to have true media literacy and to have empathy and things like that is the ability to look at a story and judge a story for how the story is actually portrayed, and not just because you do or don't see yourself one way or the other. It is nice to see yourself, and we should do more of that because there are more types of stories to explore. But at the end of the day, I can always the Barbie movie is mainly for ladies. There is plenty for me to pull out of that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, without having lived the female experience. So yeah, I judge it purely based off of how well done is this movie, is this TV show, etc. And then Coy, your question was, do you get overwhelmed?
Yes. I'm kind of like at a hard drive overfull moment in life because I knew once we got to like late February, early March, my summer is like March to July, and like July is always my craziest month of the year. This year, because of Comic-Con mainly, but this year was Superman, Fantastic Four, and Comic-Con. And I currently have 8 jobs, and I worked all 8 of them at the most I'd ever worked of them in July. In July, I covered Superman and Fantastic Four. I had 14 interviews for the Hollywood Reporter. I had 7 tapings for DC Studio Showcase. I had 3 tapings for DC High Volume. I did 21 things for the Real Rejects. I kept on almost daily posts on my YouTube. Like, I hit a point where I was like, I don't know that I'm living or if I'm just outputting. Like, I felt like I was just like, and I thought August was going to be light. It hasn't been. So I've hit a point where comics aren't like as enjoyable and movies aren't as enjoyable and comics aren't as enjoyable, but I don't think it's forever. I think I'm just so burnt out that like nothing is fun. Like when you're so hungry and you open the fridge and you're just like, I'm like that with media right now. I'm just like, and I know that's temporary, but I'm currently very burnt out and I'm very nonplussed, which feels bad. I don't like being apathetic, but I'm finding that it's good for me to hit this wall because I'm finding things in life that have nothing to do with media that are making me happy. And I think I needed this to get that. I wouldn't have found these things without it. So I'm very grateful, but I'm so tired. I'm overwhelmed.
The biggest thing that has been a blessing in my life, I have both rediscovered music that I haven't listened to in a long time, because I've actually been very out of love with music recently. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the stuff that I'm hearing come out as much, with exception. So going back down a rabbit hole of maybe albums of favorite artists that I never listened to has been big.
Yeah.
And then honestly being in this play, I think unplugging from TV and movies and going back to the roots, it sounds so weird, but it is liberating. And it's a whole just different type of way of exploring just art. It's been great, man. So yeah, maybe just finding same thing. I know your break is gonna be good, your trip. Try and find
for me,
like
it's family. Like I don't get to see my family as much as I like because I'm on the West Coast, they're on the East Coast. So taking a family trip, that's going to mean a lot to me. If all goes well, I'm going to dip into Boston for even like 30 hours, like on the way to see my family. And I think I just want to walk around my city, and like experience. I miss Boston, like as a character in my life.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to like touch I just want to go to the top of the fucking Prudential building and I want to go to Bell in the Hand. Like I want to do my old like nostalgia because lately nostalgia music has been really fulfilling. So I feel like if nostalgia is helping, I should like, heroin that crap and go to my city. Not to do that, but to inject nostalgia. But yeah, I'm tired of media right now. Not like, I don't even blame the media. You can have too much of anything, even water.
Absolutely. You can. I mean, drowning is not the same as giving yourself essentially water poisoning, but that
right. And I feel like I
live in the same world.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for a little break.
Hey man, Shakespeare, UGK, and Linkin Park, a trio I never thought would like be like this, but bro, literally hearing "Been Over, Let Me See It," followed by "In the End, It Doesn't Even Matter," followed by "Verily I Sit." Like, I mean, bro, just mwah.
Dude, I just bought a $3 bill, y'all, and Significant Other on vinyl.
Nice.
I got Limp Bizkit on vinyl. I don't know who bought that but me. I don't know how those exist, but I'm gonna enjoy them.
Well, Reggie Brown comes in. How about Cap making an appearance in Spider-Man? Pete can reveal his identity and have Sam help counsel Pete over losing May and his friends. That would be a better cameo than Black Widow. That's a good like, because Cap does do like that counseling as like his side thing. I think that's not necessarily a terrible plan. I'm curious.
I think narratively Yelena is the most lost and broken of the new Avengers. I think her being in it makes a lot of sense for where Spider-Man's at, but I like the Cap counseling idea because of that. So that's fun. I like that.
Yeah. I also wouldn't mind having scenarios where Spider-Man gets his street level and he's doing his thing, and those are the things and where maybe Elena, he talks a little bit like she comes to help in a fight and she goes, there's someone you could talk to that might be able to help you, and then ends up in like Cap's therapy group session or something.
But Elena and Cap are on opposite sides of things right now.
That's true, but remember, this is coming out post Doomsday, so maybe they're not. You don't know.
Well, this comes out pre-Doomsday, but we don't know when it takes place as compared to the post-credit scene.
Fair. That's also true. Zachary became a new member. Thank you so much, Zachary. Mad Dog comes in saying, for reference to my chats today, I've been watching Lonesome Dove, Coy, and I just don't feel like characters have interesting journeys in modern writing.
I don't know what Lonesome Dove is.
I don't either. You knew that.
But we were talking earlier about like liking everything or not. And I like more things than I don't. I did a live stream earlier on my page. And Mad Dog asked, like, he values my opinion, but he thinks I shill. And I was just explaining, like, if I don't like something, I don't talk about it. And we've kind of turned the word shill into one of the many words that has lost meaning. A shill is someone who's inauthentic about liking something in order to sell something. I'm not pretending I don't work at DC sometimes, but I don't get paid more if those movies do well. I also genuinely like the stuff coming out, so it's not shilling. I also don't work at Marvel, and I liked Fantastic Four. So, like, I think that modern literature is in a different place than old literature, but there are things that are so exceptional that could only exist now, like Spider-Verse and like the meta-modernistic movement, I still think is the most 2020s thing ever, and it's been beautiful to witness.
Yeah, fair. Connor Millis, Corky Wilson, no Chrissy boy, let's get silly. Follows it up with, I'm convinced after hearing the phrasing of Gunn's comments on Margot Robbie's Harley maybe being in the DCU, that she is the really, really big cameo in Peacemaker he's been talking about.
That'd be crazy.
That would be pretty crazy, because I'm also curious if she's still on board or if she's like done. Like,
she had that Barbie producing money.
Bruh, you know what I'm saying?
Woo. But I know she loves the character authentically. Like she if anyone would come back, Margot loves her.
That's fair. Mark Long says, MDL says, Toby Spider-Man, Hughes Wolverine, and Hulk 2003 team up in Secret Wars. Happy Friday. That would be crazy.
Ed Norton coming back would be nuts.
But 2003 would be Banner.
2003 was Norton.
No, because Incredible Hulk came out the same time as Iron Man the same year.
Oh, so you're totally right. You're totally right. 100%.
Yeah, that would be nuts, bro. Hey, man, look, there's not a lot of movie release dates I remember, but I do remember a lot of those.
What's funny is you said Banner, and I thought you just said Banner with like slang, and I was like, no, Banner.
Nah, that's Banner, yes.
I was like, I know you've been listening to UGK a lot, but they're all Banner.
Bruce Banner, bitch. Yes, I get it. What the hell is wrong with you? No, that's Banner, bro.
Plays Eric Bana. Yeah.
Connor Mullis comes back. Variety. Gunn was asked if Robbie would return to play the deadly, wisecracking anti-hero in future DC projects. Superman director kept his answer brief. That will be revealed down the line. All right.
I don't know anything, but I love Margot Robbie as Harley, so I like your theory.
That's fair. Connor Mullis. I just bought a case of beer. Is Busch Light? Busch Light is the nectar of the gods. Life is good. I drink the nectar. Sweet, sweet nectar.
I'm always so happy for Connor, just his experiences.
Bro, I wish I could have just like a fraction of Connor's just like positivity and energy, bro. That's how you know I'm getting older, is because that little light of mine just keeps dimming a little bit more and more. And I don't love that. So Connor helps kind of like, hey, that candle dying. Just go ahead and just, it's a little more.
I feel like post-vacation, I'll feel more like Connor than I do right now.
That's fair. That's fair. Jaren, baby, love what yous do. It makes middays at work better. Thanks. What's you thinks of new Peacemaker intro?
We talked about it a good bit earlier, but I dig it personally. I like Foxy Shazam, and I like what Winston had to say about the anime elements, and I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The one day that Fanimator's not here and I'm going on about anime, bro.
He'll watch later and comment.
I'm sure. I find it very funny that like, the minute I said it out, I literally thought to myself, I was like, Fanimator gonna have a
You've summoned him.
I literally almost like I said on your left, bro. I literally thought that's what was gonna happen.
He's the Babadook of animation for sure.
Legend MM600. Love you two. What's your guys' favorite X-Men character? Thank you so much. Either Gambit or Nightcrawler. It's been the two of them since day one, man. Both from the power set, their characterization, all that kind of stuff. What about you?
I mean, Deadpool shouldn't count, so I won't say him, but I want to. I like when Cyclops is written well a lot. I'm a big Chamber guy, though. I think Chamber is awesome. Storm's my all-time favorite, but that feels like everyone... I feel like people are finally coming around on Storm. It took forever, but now I feel like that's the answer. Storm is my all-time favorite if I'm trying to be edgy and unique. Chamber.
That's interesting with Chamber. I had to go Google that real quick because I was not familiar with Chamber's.
Dude, he's so intense and he speaks through his mind because when his powers manifested, he blew off the bottom of his face with his psionic powers. So he's got this boundless energy of flame just boiling out of his face. And he's just like this James Dean, cool, edgy, like he just speaks to teen angst so well. Like he's the angstiest dude.
You would have, especially the age at which you were introduced to him, that may have done exactly what you're talking about. That's hilarious. Oh man. Okay, we've got about 30-ish minutes left, y'all. We're at 37. We can still do this. Keep it pushing. Keep sending those questions in. Appreciate that. That was a good one. Connor Mills, a well-done steak is a burnt steak. Change my mind. I don't need to change your mind because that is correct.
I do like medium well. I'm a monster, but not a full monster.
Yeah, you're questionable. That's a little light love tap on your cheek for that, but I'll let you have it. Well done is a full backhand, bro. You get out there and you make that money. What the hell? Like, nah, medium rare. That's the way to go.
I like medium when I trust the place. I don't usually trust a place. That's why medium well is safe.
Fair. That's totally fair. I guess to that point, I'm only getting steaks at certain places. Like, I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying
like if I'm at an airport, it's getting medium well because I want to make it through the flight.
That's that. I'm not going to eat a steak at an airport. That's what I'm saying.
We make different choices.
You clearly, and I don't like yours. Why are you eating steak in an airport? God damn it! If there was ever a time to just get Popeyes and chill, bro, like don't do this to yourself. God damn. Connor comes back and said, "I slap motherfuckers if they eat those steaks with ketchup." You goddamn right.
What great timing. Good job, Connor Mullins.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Connor comes back and says, "Come slam some brews with me. Only a 27-hour drive." That's fair.
As long as you're not doing both. I like drinking. I like driving. I don't like drinking and driving.
That's fair.
I just want to be the parent for a moment.
Good for you. I was going to say on long road trips, I have been known to occasionally be like, meh, I'm not going to get up, but I might have a beer. That's not going to kill nobody. I just don't need nobody to see that shit. Don't be me. Don't be Winston. Winston bad. Don't be Winston. Legend MM600. My best steak is grilled on a barbecue and red as you damn right, boy. Absolutely. We actually make fun of my dad sometimes now because he spends his money on like the finer things in life now that he's kind of at that retirement age. So he'll get these like Wagyu steaks and then burn the shit out of them. And I'm like, Dad, let me do it for the love of God, bro.
It hurts.
It's so ridiculous. Chris Cook, thank you so much for joining, becoming a member. We appreciate that. Connor comes in and says, "Don't worry, I'm considered Gen Z, and I'm in the bar, going drinking. Majority of my generation since high school. Got to represent. Way to hold down the fort, my guy. Way to hold it down, bro. Were you? I don't know about you, but I actually did not really drink or party or do anything until senior year, and that was after I got into college. So it was essentially the second half of my senior year. I was like, "We good, baby," and I went crazy, but I didn't really do shit before that. Like, were you partying early, or you kind of waited?
I think I got like sober twice before I was 21.
Damn.
Like I think I had identified it as a problem twice before I could legally purchase it. Like I was definitely an alcoholic at 15 and then at 18. And then I got better. And now I have to like be mindful because it's something that's like a slippery slope for me. But like I would sneak in like straight vodka in a Poland Spring bottle and drink during class, black out and be like, why does everyone hate me? Like all the teachers, like it was a problem. So yeah, I grew up. I definitely I'm not proud of some of my choices in high school.
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get
1.6 GPA, 1390 SAT. They made me retake it because they thought I cheated.
Damn. Okay. Damn. Cowboys fan 92. Hey, Coy and Winston on this topic. I just read that Superman has just crossed 600 million worldwide, making it the highest grossing comic book movie of 2025. That is correct. It looks like it will go down as the number one. It's what they were saying, projecting 625 there and 525 for Fantastic Four. So yeah, no, we talked about that. Definitely come back, check out the rest of the stream, and you can see we were kind of talking about numbers for superhero movies. Legend comes back again. You guys rock. By the way, cool mic you got there, Coy. Go up. Damn, that's pretty cool.
I'm getting fancy. It's like an actual. It's pretty like a.
You're dude. You're doing it.
I'm doing it.
I'm excited. I've got a new. I have a second light. I didn't have a stand for it for the longest time, so the second stand is coming. So my light should be way more balanced come this weekend. The play it's a short run. It's just this weekend. So, we'll do the plugs. We normally do it at the halfway point, but I'll be back on some videos and some streams come Monday, and hopefully the lighting will look a lot better. And got a surprise for you guys here with Kristian. I can't talk about it yet, but that'll be announced pretty soon too. All righty. Let's see.
I want to give some love to the live chat real quick. Mr. Nerd Fanatic. Damn, Coy, Goodwill Hunting.
Oh my God. Oh,
you're not far off, man. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. And when I tell you
hilarious.
I identified.
That's absolutely hilarious, man. Wow.
I liked them apples, and then I fermented them.
Okay. Go, pal. When I was in grad school, my friends used to do the $10 Taco Bell challenge, where the challenge was finishing that much food. You damn right. It used to be so much, bro. It used to be so much like, look, are you going to have the runs? Probably, but your ass was fed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was fed.
It was a challenge.
Exactly.
Now I challenge you to spend less than $10.
Bro, come on now. Armada, new Ghostface and Offset album. Really? Juicy J released a full jazz album and Rocky delayed. Oh, not together. Ghostface put out an album and Offset put out an album.
I knew about the Ghostface album. I was like,
I literally thought he was saying they did an album together. I was like, I don't see Ghostface doing an album with Offset, but who knows? Juicy J released a few jazz album. Rocky delayed his next project till 27. This shit be crazy. Bro, I mean, look, I've been preaching from the top of the rooftops. Lil Jon's like motivational like meditations and what are they called when you like manifestations? Bro, they're fire. Like, I legit play that shit before like auditions. I play that shit like before I go to bed, just set my mind right. I do it like I do the morning meditations. Like, Lil Jon put some dope shit out, man, for sure. So hey, sometimes you gotta try new shit. Connor Mullis, Tramell Tillman's Goblin will go hard as fuck. Trust, I agree. I think it would slap. He is a fantastic actor and gives me all of the right energy for that, especially for those that have seen Severance. When you see him start to go off the rails, that's showing me some Goblin craziness there.
Also, him dancing is always terrifying, but like that's Goblin.
Dude, that whole scene is my favorite when they bring the band in. Oh my god,
Did
bro.
you see that he showed up at Hollywood Forever with Ben Stiller for Zoolander with the whole I was this close to going and I was like, I'm tired and I have so many regrets.
Yep, absolutely, man. I wish I had gone myself. That's it. Glasgard became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it, brother. Go, pal. I'm imagining some people's heads exploding when a black man shows up named Jefferson Davis as a born and raised Virginian who saw the train they pulled down off a street sign 6 years ago. Yeah. Those that don't know their Spider-Man lore are definitely gonna be a little like.
I was born in Danville, the last Confederate capital of the country. I feel you. It is a hell of a thing to go back to.
Colonize, thank you so much for the double donations. Appreciate that. A lot more of that, guys. A lot more of them dollar ones. We have 40. We push it slowly but surely. We can still do it. We still got 30 minutes. Still got plenty we could do. So would appreciate those coming in, man. GoPal comes back. Did y'all see a clip of Plum grabbing Paige's at? I did not see that. I was at the game. He's talking about Kelsey Plum and Paige Beckers. I did not see that, but I definitely saw Paige put on a foul, yell at the ref, immediately stop, and then while the free throws are being shot, she just did like this and just started praying because she's known to be very Christian, and she was just like, Lord Jesus, just let me not cuss this motherfucker out right now, Lord. Let me not throw hands. I don't need a technical, Lord. I'm just gonna go ahead and wait here. Thank you, amen. Like, that's what I assumed she said, because it was definitely a just Patty Boy. Are you going to see Oasis?
I work on the internet. I cannot afford Oasis.
How much does Oasis charge for their tickets?
I want to say they're like $500 or $600.
What the fuck, bro? If I couldn't afford to go to Woo, I definitely can't afford to go to Oasis.
Yeah, like I'd see Woo before Oasis.
And that wasn't cheap. I know that wasn't cheap, especially with the last. Yeah, well, they're not that bad, but they're not cheap. It's like it looks like starting from about 300.
But that's starting. That's going to be no. I don't see a concert unless I'm general admission.
Oh, you think that's going to be?
That's probably like rafters.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if it's starting at.
Yeah. Zach Roberts. As a bakery owner, I feel bad charging people $9 for a cinnamon roll, but I have to. Economy is effed. LOL. Much love, fellas. Coy, you are my comic book Bible.
Thank you. I'm honored. Dude, the YouTube's been actually moving. I just pivoted into like making all the quality look good and like giving up on editing. So like I've just been doing it like stream of consciousness. Like I was like, do I pick which battle? And now I'm just like, if people like it and look at how it sounds, so I'm just not even editing.
I might have to because
I don't have the time, and I'd rather like make it for the people that understand my goal here. So I hit like 51K, which is dope.
Wow, good for you, man. That's what I'm excited with the play wrapping down to me being healthy again. It's going to give me more time to do stuff, and again, the stuff I got going on with Kristian should free up some more time for me to be at home.
Yeah,
explain a little bit more once we come down the pipeline on that. But yeah, no, nobody's blaming you, Zach, for having to charge $9 for a cinnamon roll. Like you said,
the world right now.
It's the world we're in. Everything is more expensive. It is what it is, man. Tyler comes back, says 311 is funk, reggae, hip hop, rock, psychedelic, stoner, LOL, and it all works. You've definitely heard Amber all mixed up in Beautiful Disaster. Okay, I'll put them on afterwards because you're right. I probably do know them. I
think Amber's in like 3 or 4 different teen movies from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay, I'll have to look into it, man. Look into it for sure. Busy B, hey Winston and Coy, hope y'all have a great weekend. Thank you. You too, Busy B.
Thank you.
That. Joey Pedris just sending a little love. Appreciate it, Joey. Hey, the needle's moving now, y'all. We're up to 45. There we go.
Almost halfway
there. Let's go. Stuart Blackie, support. Hot take, Age of Ultron is underrated. I agree. I don't know if that's as much of a hot take now. I think that would have been a hotter take back in the day. I don't think it was loved as much back in the day. But I think it's one of those ones that's aged better, especially as far as connecting all the dots. What do you think?
I still don't like it very much,
sir.
I think I'd love to see the Ragnarok movie that was teased in that instead of the Ragnarok movie we got.
You didn't like Ragnarok either?
I think Ragnarok's overrated,
sir.
I think Ragnarok's a lot more like Love and Thunder than people think,
sir. I'm sure you've seen those TikToks. That dude that's being gooted too much, and so there's just a voice in the background. Sir,
I don't think it's top 10, and a lot of people put it there. I think it's fun, but I don't think it's like. I don't think it should be in the same conversation as Iron Man and Winter Soldier and like Infinity War.
I'm gonna tell Taika what you said. Victor Garrity comes in and says, didn't see Fantastic Four because I had a kid in June. Congratulations. I only got out once since, and I chose Superman. Respect. I get it. Sleep is important.
And that's wholesome. I like that you were like, you know what? I'm going to see this movie about hope. I just had a kid.
Absolutely, man. Well, that's why I'm actually confused why you didn't see Fantastic Four. That is also about having your first child.
That's fun. That's going to be fun to watch now.
I agree with for sure. Especially the sequence before we get Franklin, them trying to baby-proof the house. That's not really a spoiler. It's just like a fun montage they do of trying to baby-proof the house. I'm sure you'll probably enjoy that.
Now he's living that.
Exactly. Victor follows up with, since November 2019, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Peacock, and Paramount Plus came out. That's an insane amount of content without leaving your house. You're damn right. Dude, the number of movies that I realized I had never seen that I finally, you know what I had never seen before, and I finally watched, and I was like, this is rough, but I'm glad I'm watching this. American History X.
Oh, dude, that was one of my favorite movies in high school and college. Like, that movie hit me hard.
I had never seen it, and I had heard that it was rough, and I had heard about the curb stomping, and I was just like,
my first visit to LA, I went to Venice, and I just sat at that basketball court and like absorbed that impact, because that movie meant a lot to me, because it was actually kind of like Brokeback Mountain, where I was like, yeah, but we fixed it, the movie. Like, I was so naive when I was young that I thought movies changed more of the world than they actually do, but I was so wrapped in them that American History X, I was like, look, we solved racism. And that movie really helped contextualize shit as I get older.
To a certain extent, movies do help change the world. Obviously, we wouldn't put as much stock on them if we didn't, but yes, no, they are not.
I mean, they dent the world and they have impact, but I was a naive enough kid to think that like Brokeback being about a couple getting married and it being, made meant it couldn't be a problem for people. And American History X being like, look at how he learns. Like, I miss being that naive though, man. Being a kid was great.
Excuse my language. We've said it, there's a couple, but your bitch ass probably thought Crash also solved racism. I
hated Crash from the jump. That movie, I saw it in theaters. I was like 15, and I was like, this is the most contrived. Like, that movie felt so pandering, and I was a child.
Hot sauce in my bag swag, bro.
Like, how does that movie get a nom, much less a win? And like, yeah, that movie hurts me.
Mm-hmm.
That movie is the Armageddon Criterion collection invalidation of racism movies.
Hey man, who you telling? In Quanos, think I said that right. Superhero movies are down for the same reason as Star Wars. Execs thinking IP name is all you need and taking fan investment for granted. I agree with that. Actually, I think that is partially true. I also think just from the standpoint of if you like, one of my favorite foods is steak. If I had steak every single day, I would stop liking steak quite as much. I think there was a massive amount of oversaturation that happened. And it was not just oversaturation, it was oversaturation and a dip in quality. So it wasn't, I'm having a Wagyu steak once every like month or 2 months. It was, I'm having the Ralph's like bottom barrel bin like steak on sale for $3. It's probably not even steak, every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it was too much. And so the quality was down and the quantity was up. And I think that that's affected a lot. Throw in everything else we said about movie theaters and movie theater etiquette and everything else and pricing and all that, What you think?
I agree. I think that is shifting back though. Like your sentiment, I think, is applying to a lot of things from the last few years, but I think we're going in the right direction now. And I hope it's not going to be received as like a blanket thing. I hope we see an uptick as with quality.
Yeah. Right here. Marvel gave us too many well-done steaks in a short period of time. That's real. That is some real ish, man. Go pal. Must take the steak off the grill at 120. You damn right. Let that whole rest. Let it rest.
Man, I'm so hungry from this episode.
I am too.
I have a steak picado burrito in my fridge right now.
Ooh, that sounds good.
From my favorite Mexican joint on the planet, Salsa and Beer. I have it's waiting for me, but I'm not going to get to that beast till 8:00 at night because I have another 3 shows to film today.
Bro, I didn't even do anything special right now. I just have been so busy and been sick, so I've just been eating better. But like the fact the doctor was like, "Man, you down 12 pounds," I said, "Guess I'm eating more fish." Damn it!
Oh wait, this works. God damn it!
God damn, because that's the problem. I hear that I did something right, and all of a sudden I'm a double and triple down. That's just how I am.
I just lost 6 pounds in 2 weeks by being on the craziest cut I've ever done, and this was the first eat out meal I've had in 21 days. But that's going to taste better than anything I've ever had.
Sorry, phrasing. Okay, Dancing Dog 60. Will Gunn have a Hawk 2, a Hawk Girl joke? I'm sure somebody. I mean, it's Peacemaker, so it's a little more crass. So I think at some point it may happen, but I don't know if we're getting the Justice Gang again. I think that may have been just kind of a one and done. I don't know what.
I mean, I think like long game. I know James Gunn does a lot of like crass jokes, but I feel like he doesn't do jokes from. He does very topical jokes, but he doesn't make them only like a window of time. Hawk Tuah feels like a window of time that has passed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it would be like saying like, was I? Like,
yeah. Oh, that's true. That's definitely true, man. Coy, after taking the SAT twice, applesauce bitches.
So I took the SATs twice and I took the ASVAB twice. The ASVAB's a military aptitude test. They get public school kids in lower income communities to take to try to recruit them into the military. And I didn't realize that at the time. So like they make you take this test so that recruiters start calling nonstop. And I took that thing and I did like crazy good. And they thought I cheated on that too because they looked at everything else that I had done. So when they had me retake it, it was at the government building in Boston. And it was the most terrifying experience of my life. And then the military called every week for the rest of the time I lived in Massachusetts, like Air Force, Marines. Like it's crazy what they put public school kids through if they're from like a rough neighborhood. Like it's messy because they're just like, you don't have another choice. Come join the military.
Well, I mean, that's something that's been known for a while, that they specifically target low-income neighborhoods as a means of being like, this is going to be your way out. But
yeah, dude. And Lowell was like, what are you going to do for a living? Like, you're from this? Good luck.
Yeah. Yep. Cowboys Fan 92. By the way, Coy, Macklemore's put out 3 bangers, Heinz Hall Part 2, and Effed Up. Check them out.
I've heard Heinz Hall. I haven't heard Part 2. I will check them out. I like Macklemore, unironically and ironically.
He's never been for me, bro. The only Macklemore song that I really was rocking with was his feature on him and G-Eazy on the FDT Part 2. His bars on that were kind of funny, so I rocked with it, but he's not been my cup of tea.
I respect it. No judgment. I judge my appreciation of it sometimes.
The only thing that made it worse, literally, where I was just like, it's fine. He just, some Seattle white boy, he just likes to rap. Is then when he's like, yo, Kendrick, dog, they robbed you, bro. And then when it released the text messages, I don't need to see that, bro. Now you look like you pandering to everybody else in hip hop. You
didn't love that.
Could have been between you and Kendrick. Didn't need to see that text message, bro. Tyler comes back and says, I'd recommend their song Grassroots first. Has all the styles in one song. God damn. Okay. Grassroots. I will listen to it. Armada, did y'all listen to the new Chance the Rapper album? I think it's good to say that he made his comeback. Also saw Clips and Weekend last week. That was a lot of fun. Wow. You had a music packed weekend. That's pretty dope. I have not heard. I just put it onto my queue of stuff to listen to because I was a big fan of Chance at his peak. Wasn't the biggest fan of his first album because a lot of people don't realize that all the stuff prior were all mixtapes. His first studio album was the one that people used to make fun of. I love my wife. I love my wife. Like that, which is also sad and kind of ironically hilarious that he then ended up getting divorced like last year. So like 2-3 years removed from said album of I Love My Wife, he apparently does not love his wife. It's just
that new Clips album's great though. I love the new Clips stuff.
Chains. Oh,
crazy.
Good.
One of my favorite Kendrick features.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Busy B, how many hours do you actually sleep, Coy?
I try to get at least 6. I want 8 because it's better for like losing weight and it's better for fitness. I'm really been focusing on my health lately. Like I want to get back to being shredded, so I need more. With my schedule, 6 is likely. But I advocate for sleep. I think grind culture and like always be doing stuff. Like sleep is the only way to maintain the other 16 hours. So I'm trying to hit 8. Right now, 6 is kind of my best bet.
Okay, I love that. All right. You doing all that talking about health, I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to drink like 5 of these a day.
Dude, I'm monitoring every calorie. I'm trying to hit 200 grams of protein every day. And then next month, I'm going to have a lighter month. October, I'm doing carbs, fats, I'm monitoring every macro. I'm going crazy on this one.
Okay. All right. I love it. Dance Dog 60. Think that a live action Metal Man could work.
Yeah, I do, because I think Stag Industries is going to be a factor. They've really shown in Creature Commandos and then Superman, like how many companies are a thing, like Lord Tech and Stag. And I think Metal Man can play into that idea. So I could see that.
Okay. All right. Connor comes back again. I think Age of Ultron was a bit ahead of its time. Yeah. I mean, I think so. Look, there are definitely issues with the movie. I'm not gonna sit here and just, completely retcon thought processes of Age of Ultron. I think it was rushed a little bit. I think that they realized they had a hit. They're like, we got to get back to another Avengers film. That's why you had a little bit of mixed reviews of phase 2 movies where like people like Iron Man 3 now but didn't love it at first. Thor the Dark World, people kind of are starting to like more now but didn't love it first. Like Winter Soldier is the only thing in phase 2 that was like stamp of approval. Holy shit, this is hella good. Yes, you got Guardians. Yes, you got Ant-Man at the tail end there. But the only movie that was like, to this day, people still argue might be the greatest superhero movie of all time is Winter Soldier. And Age of Ultron, I do think is better than we gave it credit for, but there are definitely issues. Why are we introducing Quicksilver to kill Quicksilver 2 seconds later? That was kind of crazy, but that's my 2 cents. Dancing Dog. Imagine if the Globetrotters paid to be in the NBA and they actually drafted real college players and competed with a few trick plays here and there. Huh. That'd be pretty interesting. But I obviously know they're mad good, but I don't know if they're able to keep up like at the end of the day with like a LeBron and a Kevin Durant and all that and Luka. I don't know. Maybe. And then the last one for now, Connor comes in, gonna fire up the Blackstone after this episode. I love that, man. Dude. Somebody else put in the comments, they were like, I got like shrimp and salmon and like peaches on the grills right now. And I was like, ooh, that sounds good. That I'm off.
I'm jealous.
I am way too hungry. Way too hungry, clearly. So I don't know. All right. So we got a couple more that just came in right now. JC Cleaver. Have you guys listened to Prof?
Sorry, I will add that to my list though.
I need to. Okay. Never heard of this individual. This is a rapper, singer, producer based out of Minneapolis. Nah, man, I'm not familiar with Prof. Has Prof worked with anybody that? Oh, with the
name sounds familiar, but I don't know why.
Yeah, why am I? Yeah, I see they worked with the Rhymesayers at one point. All right, I have to go look into this. My apologies, I'm not familiar. Nathan Drake, think we'll get full Scorpion suit in Brand New Day?
Yes, I think it'll be a mix of what he wears in the comics, and Your Friendly Neighborhood was very comic accurate with some like armor machinations, like to make the gang war element. Like I think they'll, but yeah, I think we're gonna get Scorpion.
I mean, it's about time, man. Fun character, really fun character that we just haven't gotten a chance to check out at all. So, all right, well, again, that is what we have for the time being.
2 more just came in, Winston.
2 more just came in. I saw that. Okay, yeah, let's do that too. Nathan Drake comes in again. Do you like Tech Nine? One of my faves. I love Tech Nine.
Yeah, I think Tech Nine is one of the most slept on. Like, I think he's the best independent rapper for speed, versatility, lyricism. I think he's like insane. My buddy Echo actually did a song with him a couple years ago, and it was the first time I was like, oh, a friend of mine is like not just a good rapper, but like he did well enough to keep up with Tech Nine, and that was like the most like whoa. But I was really proud of him. But yeah, I think Tech Nine's a genius.
No, Tech Nine is really great. I mean, still my favorite underground / mainstream, because like Tech Nine he worked with a lot of mainstream artists, but he never really like hit full mainstream stride. Like he really kind of was like one of the underground kings, no pun intended, on UGK, who actually did go full mainstream at one point, but reminds me a lot of MF Doom, who is
sure
all time.
Dude, you know who I found out's a huge MF Doom fan?
RZA, probably.
Sean Gunn is like ride or die.
Really?
He literally said if he could only listen to one artist the rest of his life, it would just be MF Doom, like on repeat. Like quoted a bunch of lyrics at me. We talked about we talked about the evolution of his career through time. Like we broke down. He was wearing an MF Doom shirt. I randomly interviewed him this week. He came in and I was like, let's talk. And I didn't prep. But he had an MF Doom shirt on. Check it out over on Real Rejects right now. So I talked to him at MF Doom and the dude lit up and we geeked out about him.
I need to show you something that was flashed to me on like Instagram, and I have to probably buy this immediately. This might be the greatest graphic tee I have ever seen in my life. Coy, hold on. This right here.
So apparently James and Sean both bond over MF Doom, and we talked 20 minutes after camera about him more. So some flowers to needle drops in the MF Doom variety as well.
Dude. Oh, dude. I mean, that's cool. I would love to talk to them about that too. This right here. I know you love some Outkast and some UGK. It's an international players anthem comic book.
Dude, there's one of these for Kung Fu Kenny. I might get. That is so dope.
This is so fire. I want this so bad. Every time we hit the parking lot, we're turning heads, bro. Oh,
that's so good.
Oh, look, anybody looking for birthday ideas? My birthday in December. That is for any of the family that's watching this right now, man. Because damn,
mine's in 3 weeks, y'all. Kung Fu Kenny comic shirt.
Are you doing something?
I don't know yet, other than traveling. Like I'm gonna do something in LA, but like I want to touch East Coast soil. But otherwise, I'm gonna do something here.
No, that makes sense. Casey Grant, how many hours do you sleep? How many hours before sleep do you stop eating to cut, or does it matter if you're counting calories?
It helps to stop about 2 to 3 hours minimum. When I'm cutting with calories, I make sure it's 2 or 3 hours. But my next cut, I'm gonna try to do 1 meal a day cut in October, and I'm gonna try to hit my 200 grams in one big meal and only eat in an hour window and have 23 hours of fasting at all time. I'm going crazy this year.
Damn, dude. You're trying to have fucking 12-pack. You actually trying to play Arrow.
I want to say bye to my abs and not have my age say bye to them for me. Like I want to get them back and have them for a few more years until I can't.
Never had them. That would be a dream. We'll see.
I had them when I was in my 20s. I haven't had them in my 30s. I want them back to say bye proper.
That's fair. Eric Kirby comes in and says, Prof is good. Very underrated. All right, I'll check him out. Dancing Dog comes back. Remember the film Belly? Hype Williams. Yes, I do. Great movie.
The chat was talking about Higher Learning earlier. That made me happy. I love Higher Learning.
Higher Learning a long time.
That's another American History X intense movie, man. That movie's so good. and like weirdly more topical today than it was when they made it, which is sad.
So true. Connor Mullins comes back. Sean Gunn is slept on, man. He's got talent. I agree. There's a reason why, other than family, there's a reason why his brother keeps working with him. He's very good. And I liked what he did in this first episode, too.
And Gilmore Girls.
I never watched it. Vincent Zawada, so excited for Eminem Stans doc. There's an Eminem Stans doc?
Dude, it's in theaters, and they don't do AMC A-list, so I haven't seen it yet. It's nationwide.
Oh, God damn it. I got to check this out. They're not doing it on A-list. I'm getting so tired of them, but it is. It looks like it's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, then I'm gonna watch it there because I wanted to go see it in theaters.
I don't need to see on the big screen. F that.
Yeah, I'd prefer if it was A-list, but I can't pay $30 right now.
No. It's streaming on the 26th, so in like 4 days. I will happily stream a doc all day. I'm actually in the middle of the Cowboys like 90s run document, and it's fantastic. It might be one of the greatest sports documentaries of all time, and not just because I'm a Cowboys fan. It's just really, really well done. So if you wanted to know a little bit of something of why people are obsessed with the Dallas Cowboys, check that out for sure. All right, and the last one for now, Dancing Dog 60. Remember when Mekhi Phifer was in everything? Yes, I do.
8 Mile. Ain't no movie. No Mekhi Phifer.
I mean, look, dude, the funniest part about that is not the fact that Mekhi Phifer was in it. The funniest part is that it's a young Anthony Mackie, and he gets fully roasted, and you know that Eminem actually used real elements of Anthony Mackie's life in the diss. And he's even said in interviews, Anthony Mackie goes, yeah, no, me and Em were cool. We would talk about stuff. And then we get to the final rap battle, and I was like, wait a minute, this motherfucker talk about me. What? Like, he got genuinely mad.
Did I tell you I sat down with Mackie at Comic-Con?
No, you didn't.
I'd never met him before, and like I was a little intimidated because I know he doesn't love doing interviews where it's like he wants it to be about the thing he's talking about. And I knew my whole audience would want to talk about Avengers, and I didn't want to do that to the dude. So I was like doing that like high wire act of like people tuning into my stuff, but I wasn't going to ask about Avengers. So I was able to talk about basically everything else. And I brought up Papa Doc. I brought up Tupac. I brought up like his OG career. And the dude couldn't have been friendlier and happier because I didn't like, he knew who I was. He knew I was a comic book guy. And since I didn't talk about it, he gave me so many great conversations. And then after we interviewed, we talked for like 25 minutes about like the culture of making hip hop movies before America adapted hip hop. And like, it was a really personal talk. And I loved the dude. But the whole time I was like, I've heard this guy won't want to talk about blah, blah, blah. And then couldn't have been more personal to me. He was great, man.
Wow. I love that, man. Last one again, Nathan Drake. You guys see Union about Amazon workers? No, I have not seen that one yet. And it's on my list. That's the other thing I try and do. I try and get away from straight media stuff and do a documentary every now and again just to give my brain something different to process, because I actually watched the Biggest Loser documentary too, which was also, I remember watching that show back in the day, bro. It's crazy some of the behind the scenes stuff that Netflix like kind of busted open about all this, man. And we got another one, Brandon Summers. Winston kidnapped Kristian, so he watches the Boondocks. Coy, bring the duct tape for his eyelids.
I wonder if Kristian would like Boondocks. He might.
I feel like he might like it, bro. Especially that second episode with the trial of R. Kelly. That for that to be the second one out the gate is absolutely hilarious. Get that carrot out my face. If I want to have high blood pressure, that's my business. Like, just
Boondocks was what I wanted South Park to be. For all the people that get mad at me for South Park, Boondocks was like what I wanted to feel.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Well, I know you got to get out of here. I do too. We got 2 more that came in. Plug your stuff real quick, and then we'll get these last couple of questions. Coy, what you got going on?
Hunt me down on YouTube at Coy Jandreau. Just hit 51K. I've been killing it over there with basically Peacemaker reactions every week, Alien Earth reactions every week, reviews for all that stuff, live streams every single week, and then movies starting with Caught Stealing next week. Lots of stuff over there, and Instagram and TikTok. Lots of movement. Check them out.
You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms. Again, I got to get through my play this weekend, and then Monday we'll be back with the new Blurred Breakdown. I'll be streaming again some more and all that kind of stuff. For those that know some of the stuff I've been going on over there, I don't want to say it too loud. Room. We'll be talking more about that too. So we'll get into all that. So thank you so much to everybody that's come through already. Okay, got a couple more before we get out of here. Can you both please react to War of the Worlds? Is in like the Ice Cube bad ad, the one that's apparently maybe I will. will see.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Jacob Schlafkirkup. Hey guys, what do you think? Henry Cavill becoming Bats. Not sure if Gunn would or him would do it, but could be fun because Bats and Supes are alike in comics. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of roles for him to play. I'd love to see him play Baron Blood and Etrigan and all that stuff, but I don't see him as Batman personally. But,
I would like to see him as Vandal Savage.
Ooh,
because
there's a lot of roles I could see. Batman's not one of them.
I just keep thinking back to him in the Mission Impossible, and I keep thinking of like him cocking his.
That's what I want. I want Henry Cavill to play.
You know what I'm saying? So like, let him be like really calculating, because Savage has a tendency to be very egotistical, but very cold and calculating. My favorite iteration of him has to be the Young Justice version of him. But even the Justice League Unlimited, Justice League version 2, I think he would do a great job with. Eric Kirby, the new JID is very good, guys. No, check that out too.
I've heard good things. That I've heard.
I have as well. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Capes and Cowls. Kristian will be back on Monday for the regular iteration of the Kristian Harloff channel. If you haven't already, man, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this content, the other stuff you see on here, all that good stuff. Get in the comments with all the stories that you saw popping off. Thank you to all of our members. Be sure to join that membership. Check out any of our wonderful sponsors as well and the stuff that's going on with there. And with that, y'all, go have a great weekend. Go watch something fun. Go spend some time with your family. And if you eat a steak well done, you need to reevaluate your life. Peace.